2024 was a make or break year for Dave Aranda at Baylor, and he delivered. After starting 2-4, it looked absolutely certain that was going to be his last year in Waco, but then Baylor fixed everything. The Bears won 6 straight games to end the regular season, concluded the regular season at 8-4 before ultimately dropping their bowl game to LSU. They won out of those 6 straight games, 5 of them by double digits. And now this is a Bears team that nobody is talking about, but they are a legitimate dark horse in the Big 12 this season. No one's talking about them, but we're going to do that today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. So glad you could join us to talk some Baylor Bears football. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to our expert picks, home to our weekly newsletters beginning here in just a few weeks. A lot of content down there that you do not want to miss out on, especially once the regular season gets going. All the more reason to go check it out, sign up today, and just become a member of our GE Nation so you're getting your daily college football fix year-round with us right here at the channel. So, Baylor. Again, it's only a few years ago, right, that Dave Aranda had this team in the thick of playoff discussion, won the Big 12, was doing great things, right? In the last few years, really didn't go so well. So entering 2024, he was kind of on the hot seat. That seat was really warm. And again, after that 2-4 start, it was like, we're done, right? And I don't think anybody saw Baylor, going at least 4-2 down the stretch, let alone winning 6 straight games. But now you look at the roster that's coming back and the schedule that they're facing and everything, and you realize the Big 12 is already wide open as it is. And Baylor should be discussed as a team that could compete for one of the 2 spots in the Big 12 championship. And we'll start on offense, where they have one of the better quarterbacks, I think, in the entire country. Sawyer Robertson returns from last year after throwing for over 3,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. And again, he wasn't even expected to be the starter at the beginning of last season. So kind of emerged onto the scene, won that starting job, and then played really good football. We ranked him just last week as the 10th best quarterback in the entire country. Go check out that video. We ranked all the top 10 quarterbacks in the nation. Robertson's on our list at number 10. That's how good this guy is. And the beauty of it is he could be even better this year, not just because of another year of experience, because he's got weapons surrounding him. For starters, he's got 4 returning offensive linemen. So the offensive line is going to do a really good job of protecting him, right? Not a whole lot of new pieces there, a lot of chemistry, should have some great pass protection, great time to make some good decisions. He's got some great running backs, right? Not just one, but 2 of them. Bryson Washington returns after rushing for over 1,000 yards in 2024. Dawson Pendergrass returns after rushing for over 670 yards last year. So 2 very capable running backs that I think are kind of flying under the radar this year as well, that can take a little bit of the load off for Robertson, maybe not make this offense as pass heavy. They do return Josh Cameron at wide receiver, led the team last year with 10 touchdowns, also had over 750 reception yards. He's also a dangerous punt returner, averaged nearly 21 yards per punt return. They also added Kobe Prentice from Alabama, had over, 780 yards in the last 3 years with the Crimson Tide. So he was not the go-to guy in Tuscaloosa, but a guy that does have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, and plenty of experience. And then you've got Ashton Hawkins, who might play for Baylor this year. He's got some NCAA issues. That's not a surprise, considering how poorly run the NCAA is. Maybe Hawkins plays, maybe he doesn't. If he does, it's an extra weapon for Robertson at wide receiver. If he doesn't, I do think Baylor can manage without him, but obviously would love to get him back. Regardless, this is a Baylor offense that for the last couple of years has had some questions, has had some issues across the board on multiple levels, but now there really aren't many glaring questions. Competent quarterback, a 1-2 punch at running back, solid depth on the offensive line, weapons at wide receiver. This is a Baylor offense that could be one of the best offenses in the Big 12. Defensively, that's Dave Aranda's area, right? He's a defensive-minded coach. They, just like the offense has gone through some issues over the last couple of years. Baylor as a whole has. It's time to right that shit. The defense played very well, I would say, over those last 6 games, over those final 6 regular season games, helped them get those 5 double-digit wins, helped them get all those victories. But they add a lot of talent to the transfer portal to kind of rebuild the defense, add some extra depth, and keep them relevant in the conference. Before we get to that, we'll focus on leading tackler Keaton Thomas that does return, right? Absolute stud at linebacker who can pretty much do it all. So kind of your anchor of your defense from last year returns. That's huge. Then out of the transfer portal, Marion Winston comes in from Oregon. You've got Matthew Fobbs-White coming in from Tulane, two capable pass rushers to help out that defensive line, a clear need for Baylor. And then you've got a guy like Travion Barnes, a pretty solid run stopper up front. 129 tackles and 3 sacks last year alone at Florida International. Not 129 tackles over 2 or 3 years, no, just last season, and now he comes to Waco. They have a very strong secondary, especially at the safety position. Once again, Baylor looking good at all 3 levels defensively. The biggest, I think, glaring need was some extra pass rushes. They didn't really have a great pass rush last year, at least not a consistent one. Miranda went out, addressed that need in the portal. Got some really good guys up front. You've got your anchor at linebacker. Watch out for the Bears. Now, all that to be said, this is the offseason. We wouldn't because not all teams deserve it. We could sit here and try to hype up every team, right? We could sit here and try to talk positively about every team that there is, right? Some teams deserve it, some teams don't. Baylor deserves it, but all that hype can go away after the second week of the season. You look at the Bears' schedule, the first 2 games will tell you if the Bears are real or not, right? They open the year at home against Auburn. Auburn now being led by transfer quarterback Jackson Arnold. Auburn, a team that, once again, people are very high on. Not exactly sure why, but still going to be a very tough test for the Bears. Auburn actually already slightly favored in this game, about a 2.5 favor as of right now on the road in Waco in week 1 on a Friday night. So that's a tough game. That's not a surefire victory for either team. Then after that, Baylor goes on the road to SMU that returns plenty of talent, was in the college football playoff just last year. And again, I know it's an in-state game, but on the road against a very talented team, a very talented quarterback in Kevin Jennings, there's a legitimate chance Baylor starts 0-2. Neither of those games are guaranteed wins. Neither of those games are easy. 2 power conference opponents in the first 2 weeks of the season. There's a chance Baylor could start 0-2, and all the hype that we've built up over the offseason, all those sky-high expectations go out the window before they even start conference play. Or they start 2-0, and everybody's getting really hyped in Waco. Baylor's in the top 25 by that point. Things are looking great. For me, if I'm Baylor, I'm just hoping I split them. And I know it's not the best mentality. Of course, you're hoping to win both. Of course you are. But that's very hard to do. If you're Baylor, I consider it a success if you go 1-1 against Auburn and SMU. And it doesn't matter who you beat and who you don't, because neither of those are conference games, right? So when we're talking about the playoff race and we're talking about the Big 12 title race, you know, conference victories matter. And for the college football playoff race, you know, you can still get in with 2 losses. Some teams, and very soon, will get in with 3 losses. So you're not completely out of it by that point either. So just split the first 2 games. Then in Big 12 play, the schedule's not that bad because a lot of the top dogs come to Waco. They host Arizona State. They host Kansas State. They host Utah. Their toughest road games are Oklahoma State, TCU, and Arizona. TCU probably going to be the toughest of those 3. So the road slate, to me, is very manageable. You throw SMU in there, too, if you want. But in conference play, road slate is very manageable. The home slate is phenomenal. Getting Auburn at home to start the year should be rocking in Waco. Getting Arizona State, the reigning champs, at home, massive. Utah, always a good team, massive. Kansas State, always a legitimate threat, massive. You have to defend your home field if you're Baylor. The season success will hinge on whether or not you win your home games or not. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Take care of business at home. You're not going to go winless on the road. You're just not. So if you take care of business at home, you can afford a loss or 2 on the road and still consider it a successful season, still be in the hunt for a Big 12 title or a playoff berth. You know, this team, again, went 8-4 last year. 8-4 this year matches last year's record, and that's not bad. 8-4 is a solid season. But the Bears want more. Considering how last year ended, considering who comes back, considering what they added, considering the very favorable home slate, this is a year where it feels like Baylor can get back to where they were when, 2021? Back to a 9-10 win season where they are very relevant and very competitive on the national stage. This can be the year. The fans are hoping and wanting and maybe expecting more than just 8-4. But can Dave Aranda deliver? So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Our expert picks are there. Our weekly newsletters are there. So much content there to help you get through this offseason, and content you're not going to want to miss once the regular season begins. All of the reason to join our GE Nation today. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.